What's up guys, so we're back in the shop and I wanted to show you guys the difference between a fade and a taper. So in this video you're going to learn how I do a really tight tapered haircut. So hopefully you like it. Let's get started in the back of the nape area. I'm going to be starting in the back and working my way from side to side, and we'll keep this style throughout the whole haircut so we can stay consistent. So right now I just have a 0 on the clipper. I'm going to now turn my lever up to a 1/2, and I'm going to go back to the nape area and then work my way from side to side just so I can stay in the same rhythm and stay consistent while I work throughout the haircut. If you notice, I'm using the lever on the clipper to go back and forth between the 1/2. That just gives me a little bit more of a blending. Now I'm going to use my number 1 attachment on the clipper, and I'm going to continue working my way from the nape and then working my way into the sides of the haircut. So what I'm doing right now is really taking a lot of the bulk out, but then still really doing a lot of the blending from where I left off with the 1/2. After the 1 attachment has been used on the clipper, now I'm using a 1/2 attachment, which is primarily the same thing as the metal attachment on the clipper itself, and that's when the lever is turned up. But with wall, there is an actual attachment. So I am going to use this because I am able to get a little bit tighter in the haircut itself so I can do some polishing off. Now I have my trimmer, but I'm only cleaning up the arch around the ear, and then I'm going to work the guide through the back of the nape area. So I'm going to push up against the hairline that I want to create. Then I'm using my electric razor to take the haircut a lot tighter. So where I left off with the 0, now I'm going to take the electric razor, tighten it up, and really redefine the hairline behind the arch of the ear and in the nape area. So this now allows me to give me more of a concentration on the taper itself, right? So I use my 0, which I have right now on the clipper, and now I'm blending the beard out, but I'm going to go back and forth into the fade itself. So where I left off with the 1/2 and where I left off with the initial 0, I'm now doing a lot more blending where I can start to really see the fade come together. So I use my trimmer again so I can take it a little bit tighter and take it down to the skin where we left off with the electric razor. Let's back up a bit because I did grab my fade comb. You notice that I am using the Johnny B comb because it is blue. I love to see the contrast of the hair in between the teeth of the comb. But I am using my Babyless clipper. It's cordless. I can dance around the chair a little bit more. But I like to use this particular comb because you can see the contrast of the hair in between the teeth. And you can really customize the cut, and what I'm doing is cutting in the crown to do some layering. Now we'll move on to our shear cutting. So I'm going to grab the section in the front of the hairline, and what I want to do is stand on the left side, or you can stand on the right side. But what I like to do is grab the guide through the crown, but starting in the front of the hairline, and I comb that section out throughout the entire crown at the top, and I work my way towards the back. Now I want to grab that opposite section, so I'm going to stand behind the model, and you can notice that there's a little bit of a dip in between my fingers now, so you can use that as your guide. Now that you have the guide at the top of the crown, you can layer the length into the fade on both sides. Here's our finished look, a really tight taper taken down to the skin and blended into some length. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Hopefully you like the version of a haircut that we did on Chris today. Remember to subscribe. Thanks for the support.